Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the regular January 12th, 2026 City of New Ulm Park and Rec Commission meeting. Thank you all for being here. The second thing we need to do is do a roll call. I'd like all the commissioners, we have two new commissioners here today, but I'd like everyone to state their name, what they do for a living, and what they do for fun. Jeff, you want to start, please?
Jeff Golden, Commissioner, semi-retired.
Dave Christian, the city liaison. Hey, I'm a counselor and a park and rec member just for fun.
Ann Earl, I'm retired.
I'm Kurt Johnson. I'm the duly elected chairman of this board. I'm a retired judge from Mankato for 20 years and practiced at Gissleson and Hunter for 20 before that time.
My name is Amy Johnson, and I'm the vice chair of the Park and Rec Commission. I am the director of the Brown County Historical Society, and I have two other jobs, so I guess for fun I just continue to work.
Greg Glover, Commissioner, and I'm a retired physician. And for fun, my wife and I enjoy our granddaughters.
My name is Jim Jensen. I'm a commissioner, and I'm retired. I was in the clothing business for 40 years, and now I do a little writing for fun.
I'm Cheryl Corman. I'm the Assistant Director for the Park and Rec Department, and I've been here for about 30 years. And for fun, I like to travel and snowmobile, although that's not been working out so hot the last couple of years.
All right, thank you, everybody. Commissioner, please.
And Joey Schugel, also, I'm the Park and Recreation Director for the city. Been in this role about 2.5 years now. This is my second stint with the City of New Ulm. Prior to that, I was rec supervisor for about 4.5 years leading into that. And for fun, we have an active family, so keeping the kids in line and in activities as much as possible, and getting to the golf course when that season comes out, and see the sunrise on the golf course, usually very early morning rounds.
Good. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I'd like to make a special welcome to our two new members, Dr. Greg Glover and Ann Earl. We're very glad you're here. We're very glad that you've agreed to serve on the commission with the rest of us, and that's a good thing. We have a very short agenda today. We have an open house at Vogel Arena at 4:30 to 7 o'clock. You are all welcome to come to that. You don't have to, but we'd like to see you there. Visit with the people that may show up and look at the new or the beginning of the proposal for the park plan. Item number 4 is the approval of the agenda for January 12th. It's very short, as I said. Does anyone have any additions or corrections?
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve that agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Second item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the December 8th. Quit moving that thing, Jerry. I can't see what I'm doing. December 8th, 2025 meeting attached to your packet that you received. Are there any amendments or?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
All right.
I'll second that.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The amendments or the approval of the minutes from the December 8th, 2025 meeting are approved. The only new business we're going to talk about today is the naming rights for the New Ulm Recreation Center. And I'll let Commissioner Schugel or Boss Schugel, Director Schugel, say whatever he wants to say about this, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Before you is an agreement between South Point Financial Credit Union and the City of New Ulm for naming rights for the New Ulm Recreation Center. And I wanted to start with a little bit of history on where this all began. So this commission did recommend approval of retaining Front Burner Sports to assist with acquiring naming rights for park and rec amenities and facilities throughout the city. That then went on to city council and they approved the contract with Front Burner Sports that came into effect on February 1st of 2025. So since then, staff has worked closely with Front Burner Sports and working with potential partnerships for some of our facilities. Those facilities that we really zeroed in on were the Recreation Center, Civic Center, amphitheater at German Park is kind of where we were starting with that process. Fairly early on in the process, throughout our contacts of potential partners, South Point Financial Credit Union had interest in the Recreation Center. So today, we have a proposal before you of a 15-year naming rights agreement for the Recreation Center. I do want to highlight some of maybe the high points I would consider within that agreement. That agreement is in your packet. That I'd be happy to answer any questions on. There's also members of the South Point team here today if you have any questions for them as well. But some of those high points are South Point Financial Credit Union would be the primary sponsor, meaning exterior signage on the building, signage interior of the building, and our primary sponsor for that facility. With that primary sponsorship becomes a term of 15 years. And through that 15-year term, it would be a payment of $45,000 a year from our primary sponsor. Another highlight of the agreement is a membership discount at the Recreation Center. So two different options. So there's a 15% discount for our 3-month membership options and a 10% discount for our yearly option or our yearly membership. And actually, I think I switched that. I think it's 10% for 3 years and 15% for the yearly memberships. But with that, so that discount goes to South Point team members. So meaning individuals who have accounts with South Point. So not employees necessarily at South Point unless they have an account with them. There's a lot more information in that agreement that I'm happy to answer questions on, or if the South Point team members, if you have specific questions for them. I will talk that both sides, our city attorney's office as well as the legal team at South Point Financial Credit Union did review this contract and get us to the point we're at today. And then another thing, with these naming rights, activation will take some time. Okay, so activation means signage on the facilities, and that won't happen overnight, but our city team along with the South Point team members will work on a time frame that both sides are comfortable with to activate that if this agreement is then approved. So at this time, I would be welcome any questions regarding this agreement for myself or our South Point team members.
Mr. Commissioner,
Yes,
your permission to speak?
yes, me.
My question is pretty basic. With the gymnastics program and stuff, and that is signage on the exterior and the doors of the building and stuff, how is that going to be affected?
Great question, Commissioner Earl. So that will not be affected. So we've had discussions about that. Both sides understand that it's important to have that reflected on the exterior of the building since that is facility within a facility. So for identification, emergency purposes even, it's important to have that exterior signage still on the facility.
And I have one question. I mean, I love the proposal. I'm all for it. A couple of years ago, we had to do the variance. The signage was too big. Are they going to go any bigger or?
So we've provided those details to our consultant.
Okay.
So with the variance language, so our goal is to fit that signage within that which was approved the last
Right.
time for that.
I just don't want
Yes.
them to have to go through another hoop.
Right. Right.
All right, thank you.
I just want to say one thing. Hats off to South Point for coming forward on this, if the deal goes through and everything else. So we really want to thank you for stepping forward and being one of the front runners and making this happen. I'm sure other people will come forward on the other buildings because of this. So thank you.
Any other questions?
Can you just refresh my memory as far as the contract with Front Burner Sports? How are we? What is our status with them now, and are they continuing to work together? And how much was the contract with them?
Great question, Commissioner Johnson. So I'm going to use this from memory, I can get you exact details after this meeting, but the initial contract is for an 18th-month agreement. So we're sitting right around a year now, so there's an additional 6 months. With that initial agreement, it was, if my memory serves me, it was $46,000 total. So we pay a monthly amount to get to that $46,000. The city council did approve us to use our fund balance for that payment. There are options for us to retain Front Burner Sports longer if we wish. With a lot of times with these naming agreements, they are long-term agreements. Now we'll have that potentially in place long after Front Burner Sports is done working with the city. So I will say Front Burner Sports, part of their compensation is commission off of this deal then too, and that's in that initial contract that was approved by this commission and city council. And there's a few different options on how high that commission is, if we pay it up front or if we pay it over the life of the naming rights deal.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Glover.
Two questions, Chair. One is, and I didn't quite understand the contract completely, but with the discount that the members will receive, will the city or the Park and Rec be responsible for that deficit, or will that be made up in the contract? I wasn't clear on all the contract language.
Yes, great question, Mr. Glover, or Commissioner Glover. Our team with the city and our consultants at Front Burner, along with the South Point team, had some really productive discussions regarding this part of the contract. And South Point is really looking at this as a potential not only to serve their members, but also bring in new members to the recreation center as well. But to answer your question, the goal is for our staff not to be able to take on more with this. So it would just be like coming down and pressing a different button for a South Point membership for there. Now, our administrative staff will have some reporting to do based on the contract and get some quarterly numbers to the South Point team and some yearly check-ins just to see how this is going. There is some language within this contract. If either side is not happy with this part of the contract, we can come back to the table and look at potential other options or moving forward. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, in other words, it's going to continue to be evaluated on a yearly basis or so. And
Right.
I guess the only other thing and I thank South Point for stepping up to do this and the work that you've done on it, and I'm certainly supportive. I do feel, though, that it does seem like New Ulm might be losing some of its identity when you have a building that says the Recreation Center of New Ulm, and then that's coming off. And it might be different if you're putting a billboard on the outfield of a ballpark or something like that, but a building that already has our name on it, and there's a little bit of a feeling that maybe we're losing some identity there.
Sure.
All right. Any other questions?
Is
Thank
the
you,
Park and Rec
Commissioners.
going to be getting the money, or is the city of New Ulm going to be getting the money?
So
It's all one big pot.
great
Chair
question,
Coleman.
yes. The money would come back into the Park and Recreation operating budget to offset some costs, yes.
Any other questions? I too want to thank, I'm very supportive of the agreement also, and I want to thank South Point for coming forward and doing this. I think it's going to be a great relationship for both of us, so I think I appreciate you guys coming forward and making their commitment, and likewise with the city. I'd entertain a motion at this point.
I'll offer a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we sign the agreement as written.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the naming rights agreement between the City of New Ulm and South Point Financial Credit Union for the New Ulm Recreation Center. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much, South Point Credit Union, for coming forward and doing this. It's a really big deal, and it's a good thing. Thanks a lot. Chairman, or Commissioner, or whatever you are, Director, what's next?
Meeting.
So, Mr. Chair and Commissioners, what's next with the naming rights agreement, or what's next with our meeting?
No, with our meeting.
Sure. So as Mr. Chair stated at the beginning of the meeting, there is an open house at the Recreation Center from 4:30 to 7 p.m. today on the 50% draft master plan. We'd love to see our commissioners there and as much community feedback as we can get. It's a come and go event, so no pressure to stay for extended periods of time, but some really good and valuable information.
Okay, anybody have any other questions or concerns? All right, at that point, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn this meeting early so that the commissioners may participate in the Parks and Recreation Master Plan Open House at the New Ulm Recreation Center. So hopefully you can come down there and be involved in that and meet the people and see the preliminary proposals. At that point, I'll declare this meeting adjourned.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And Mr. Chair, Commissioners, just real quick, date of the next meeting is February 9th.
Oh, yeah, I should have said
Yes.
that. Well, that comes on my, that comes to next.
February 9th, so any agenda items, please get those to Danita in the week prior to the meeting.
And is there a certain room down there that it's available?
Our open house will be in the main concourse lobby leading into the gymnastics center is where we'll be set up.
All right, very good. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it.
February 9th?